couple of things to start off with. We're gonna finish off the first chapter. They have an all staff cast something or other. All cast review session. Apparently it shouldn't take too long, so we'll hop into that and then shift over to chapter 2 when we're there. Also, when I booted up chapter 2, I had the option to allow or disallow the opening video. Or there were spoilers, so I skipped it. I might watch it later if I'm able to, but for now it's I'd rather not have any spoilers. They're not all that fun. Anyway, without further ado, here's chapter 1's all cast review. I'm not entirely sure what it is. Thank you for buying Higurashi When They Cry, Onikakushi, a visual novel by 7th Expansion. How was it? If you enjoyed it, even a little bit, it would make me happy. Even a little bit is stretching it. That incredibly dark ending made me angry, you know? Hello, hello, hello. It made us angry. And they didn't actually really have much of a part. It was weird. This Onikakushi chapter is the first story that readers challenging the mystery of the entire series get to experience. So it's actually supposed to be somewhat of a prologue. Fair enough. So odd though. How could the prologue have such an incredibly dark ending? Yeah, but doesn't that happen sometimes? The player digging through the story in order to avoid a bad ending is the point of these types of games, after all. It's still just the first chapter. I'm looking forward to the next one. Just what kind of plot awaits us from here on? Rena, do you know? Yeah? This episode has Rena as your closest friend. But it seems like there are stories featuring Mi-chan and Satoko-chan too. Oh, this one. Yeah. What kind of plot developments can we expect from the other scenarios? In this chapter, they introduced a string of mysterious deaths that were happening in Hinamizawa recently, right? The next chapter will introduce some of the history of Hinamizawa. With one strange event happening after another, I got totally lost. What exactly is Oyashiro-sama's curse about? Actually, what is Oyashiro-sama to begin with? They didn't explain much. Explained a fair bit. I haven't heard much about it, but I have kind of a bad feeling about it. It feels like it'll be another one of those scary stories where somebody gets cursed again. Tough luck for Kei-chan. What kind of curse is he gonna get hit with this time? This time? However, I am looking forward to see what kind of story it's gonna be. Sorry for being late. My bad, my bad. Hey everybody. Hey, you're alive. Holy shit. Good work today. Same to you. Huh? Where's Kei-chan? I think Keiichi-kun is already off reading the script for the next chapter. Must be hard being the main character. Is this like Umineko where it, same scenarios? Huh? That's too bad. You could have at least poked in to say hello. He probably had too many lines in his script and had to stay behind recording. Well, you can hardly blame him. Alright. Maibara-san has enough lines to cover full cast in a normal novel game, you see. In any case, that story really was a lot of trouble, especially for Keiichi-kun and Rena-chan. Trouble? That was the mother of all bad ends. Not quite. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. I wonder, what was the identity of that thing that attacked Keiichi-kun? My theory is that it was the work of people made to look like a curse. But Keiichi made that mysterious phone call at his demise. I also thought that call was strange. At that point, Kei-chan should have been certain that the culprits were people. That really was a strange phone call. It almost sounded like he was being chased by a ghost or something. Just from that phone call, it really makes me think that it was the work of a curse after all. Since we're all here, why don't we hear our theories? Let's start with Sonozaki-san. Right. I absolutely believe it was people. I think it was a man-made incident that was just imitating the strange folklore floating around Hinamizawa. Certainly. Every year on the day of the festival, for another link in the chain of mysterious deaths to happen certainly is suspicious. In that so-called chain of mysterious deaths, it has to be somebody trying to reenact the folklore. Definitely. Of sorts. I think it's more of a other way around. I think it was the curse. Looking at the scene where Keiichi-chan went berserk in the entryway, and the last scene with the phone call, those cannot be explained with a human culprit. When you say it that way, it really wasn't the type of scene that would make you think it was the work of an actual person. Yeah, but even then, I still think it was a person who did it. That last scene and the one with the entryway, I think that the stress must have driven him into paranoid delusions. Potentially, but there's a bit more to it. You weren't helping me to understand by using such complicated words. In other words, Keiichi was so scared that he was imagining things. Then, what was the meaning behind that scene? What exactly was that mysterious presence behind Keiichi? A red herring. R-E-D-H-E-R-R-I-N-G. Mi-chan, what do you mean by a red herring? Like old man Tomitake here said, that scene was the result of Kei-chan having a stress-induced delusion from being mentally cornered. The overly graphic depiction was a ploy to make the player think it was a curse. That's why it's a red herring. When you say it like that, but well, it just means that there's that possibility. In that case, the theory that Ueshi-san proposed during the story that it was a conspiracy by the villagers was correct? What does the man himself have to say about that? Me? Makes you think, eh? I totally thought that Ueshi-san would be behind the people explanation. During the story, I said it was definitely the work of people. But if a person really was to blame, that leaves a lot of loose ends. Like what? Let us hear what Detective Ueshi-san's theory is. First of all, if a human is the culprit, then there has to be a motive. In other words, somebody has to gain something from it. So what you mean is, if this was the work of people, there would have to be something gained from causing the chain of mysterious deaths? Exactly. I felt that somebody could have benefited from the deaths of people related to the dam development, but the recent victims weren't related to that at all. First off, who benefits from killing Maebara-san? I see. If you say it like that, my case is kind of weak too. I mean, none of your money was stolen. There's no way it was human culprits. His death was more valuable than the money. Well, that's not everything there is to it, right? Like Mi-chan just said, there might have been some sort of reason for them to reenact the folklore. Unpredictable in reverse. Alright. Alright, cool. So, less grounded, more variable. Alright, exactly. This one isn't a murder where you consider the typical motives. It makes me think that this is most likely some sort of ritualistic murder to reenact the bloodstained history of the village. So that's the question of the hour. Who gains from this reenactment? It's not about simple benefit. It's a more psychological reason. I think that maybe this is an act of revenge. Something native to the region. Some connection not touched on this time around. I think that might be closer to it. I see. A member of some repressed family looking to air out an old grudge of their ancestors. Something like that. I don't like that. Then what is it? Couldn't be that you're leaning towards the curse explanation, Oishi-san. That's right, that's right. The man playing detective said so. It's decided. It was a curse. If, as Maibara-san said during the story, it was the case that Hashiro-sama possessed Ryugu-san and Sonozaki-san and committed those acts, that would fit the evidence the most. As much as I hate to say it. Actually, I'm of the same opinion as Oishi-san. I can't come up with any other explanation for the normally kind Rena and Michan to suddenly start acting strange like that. For the both of them to act weird, that is weird. About that, it may sound strange coming from the person herself, but I think that I, Mion, did it. I don't get what Mi is saying. I'd like an explanation. Oh, sorry. In other words, I think this may end up being a really cruel story. It's not already. Wait, Mi-chan. You don't mean... Taking the human culprit theory to its logical conclusion, that's how it would seem. I also have my suspicions. In other words, Ryugu-san and Sonozaki-san both actually had those personalities to begin with, and were merely deceiving Maibara-san. Am I right? I don't like that at all. This is all the curse's fault. Rena-san and Mion-san and everybody else are all kind, nice people. I think that too. I think that Rena and Mion-chan are really good people at heart. I think that during the story they must have been possessed by something. So Rena also thinks it was a curse. Then let me ask everybody who thinks it was a curse. There has to be a reason for a curse, right? It doesn't make sense for a curse to just indiscriminately befall someone. Can somebody explain that? A curse is a curse. Human logic won't get us anywhere. Satoko-chan. A personified deity is, in the end, nothing more than the creation of people. That's why their method of thinking is also understandable to humans. Just take a look at the Greek pantheon. That's a mess. They cry, get angry, get jealous. Basically, they're just like humans. So what you're saying is that Yashiro-sama is cursing people with some benefit in mind? That's an odd way of putting it, but basically yes. That's what they say. Far from Jupiter, far from his thunder. You do have a point. Basically, it doesn't matter if it's Yashiro-sama or humans. There has to be a reason. Beyond just, they did it. But, Rika, what if the reason isn't clear? I don't know. That's right. This is still just the prologue. There's still a lot of stuff that hasn't been revealed yet. Yeah. It's hard to come up with any more theories at this point. No. I won't be satisfied until this is all made clear. Mion-san seems rather particular about this. We'll just make the best of what we know. Doesn't this feel interesting? Like the club a little bit? Yeah, if you put it that way, it does seem interesting. Well then, let's summarize. Let's see. I think it was a curse. Tomitake-kun thinks it was people, right? Yeah? I'll go with it being people. I also agree with the people explanation. That's not to say I hate such fantastic things like curses, but in this particular case, the connection to a curse is a little weak. I agree. 2 for the people explanation then. Ryugu-san was on the curse side of things, right? Yep. Satoko-chan and I believe it was a curse, right? Yeah? I think it was a curse. People who say that Rena-san and Mion-san were evil to begin with are more befitting of a curse. Well, I don't want to believe that my own personality was that twisted. But I have to keep a cool head when I'm in club mode. If I base my choice on just emotion, I'll regret it, you know? Well, now, it doesn't really matter which side you pick, does it? It does. Huh? Rika-chan hasn't said anything yet. What do you think? I don't think that Oyashiro-sama is a bad god. Huh? That's an interesting opinion. I don't want to worship some bad god that just curses people. I'd like a generous god more than one that curses. That's right. Rika-chan is the Shrine Maiden. Yep, good opinion. Then what? If Rika-chan doesn't believe that it was Oyashiro-sama, then do you think the perpetrators were human after all? We'll just go with that. Well, now, that means the votes are split right down the middle. So half of us think it was a curse, and half of us think it was people? Rena-chan, just for reference, what did the test players who played the beta version think? Yeah, there were a lot more players who believed in the people explanation. Fair enough. See, right there. Our veteran comrades are cool, collected, and very observant. But the beta version only finished partway through the story. That's right. Even the people who played the beta might change their minds if they got through to the very end. What should we do then? This means that the opinions are still split. It's no fun if we don't settle this. We need there to be an odd number of judges, in other words. We need one more opinion. Ah, perfect timing then. Why don't we ask Keiichi-kun himself? Let's call him. The opinion of the victim himself is very valuable. As that's decided, it's time for the phone. These voice actors had to voice themselves acting as actors. Hello, Keiichi-kun. It's Rena. Are you busy with work right now? Yeah, really busy. Just when I thought I'd get a break because the chapter's over, it's already time for the next one. How's Kei-chan? Busy? Yeah, he's moping. I can hear you, you know. It must be nice having a wrap-up party. I wanted to go too. Come if you get some character art yourself. Rika, that's a secret. Right, he doesn't have a sprite. Sorry about that, Keiichi-kun. Anyways, during the current chapter, Keiichi-kun, didn't you die? We were just talking about who the culprit might be. Basically, we're deadlocked on whether it was people or Yashiro-sama's curse that killed you. I'm really sorry. Even though you're busy reviewing the script, Keiichi-kun, which do you think it was? It's obvious, isn't it? Which? Isn't it both of them? Targeted by suspicious people from the village, and then cursed by some strange Yashiro-sama on top of that. It's both humans and a curse. Everybody's just picking on me. So very, very pitiful. Next time, I'll give you a good patting on the head. In the end, the opinion's still split, huh? I'll think this over again. We might have missed something. Almost definitely. Well then, please look forward to the next release. Higurashi, When They Cry, Watanagashi. Higurashi, When They Cry. 7th expansion presents Welcome to Inamizawa, When They Cry. That's a fun little chapter. I'm on the opinion it's humans, but it could be, like Keiji says, not quite the curse, but people believing in the curse and acting upon it. It's still humans, but they are, in essence, treating it as a curse, something like that. Give me a sec. I'm gonna close this up and boot up the second chapter. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of a shifting around here a sec. So, where are you? There you are. There we are. Hey, cool. Got it up. Alright. Yeah, so my thoughts on it for a bit. Yeah, I'm of the non-magical belief, but people's beliefs can get very, very close to magical curses and such. And since it's not Umineko, it could be something different. It could actually be a curse. It's a new story. It's unrelated. You never know. But until proven otherwise, I'm going to treat it as realistic. My thoughts is, my gut feeling is Rena isn't a culprit. She's like a victim of the true person. Is my gut feeling. Don't quite have much more on it, but she seems genuine in what she does. Not quite a killer, but just misunderstood is best I can try and word it. I think Mion is a lot more involved. I'm not quite sure how. And I have a suspicion about Rika and Satoko-chan being involved, but I don't know how. I think they have more to do with it than they let on, but they weren't shown in any of the bad things that happened. There's also the sideline theory of Oishi-san being a culprit of some sort. The detective on the case being able to hide up anything he wants is a very powerful belief, but he's digging up old cases and he's going to retire. It doesn't quite fit. But it's not outside the range of possibility. I don't know. Anyway, this is chapter 2. And so we'll continue on from wherever this goes. Watanagashi, the most possibilities. Cotton drifting chapter. Oh, Ichiro-sama exists. Oh, he exists. Oh. Fair enough. Alright, but yeah, it's like yeah, Maria's like a perfect example of it. The Beatrice might not exist, but Maria's belief in her was so extreme that it was almost equivalent to her being magical. How was your taste of life in Hinamizawa? A curse or a conspiracy? I believe you have fully enjoyed everything and everyone seeming suspicious. Here at last, it is no surprise attack, but a real, direct incident. Please enjoy it. The difficulty is lower than Onikakushi, but extremely vicious. Higurashi when they cry. Welcome to Hinamizawa. They start off laughing at us. Well, that's a good sign. I will not quench your thirst, for you seek the truth and could not accept that. I will not quench your thirst, for the truth you desire does not exist. But I still want to quench your thirst, for I am the one who cast you into the desert. Frederica Berncastle. Depiction key. I couldn't read that, that was weird. This is a work of fiction. Any resemblance to actual persons or incidents is completely coincidental. AD 1983, the early summer 58th year of the Showa era. Higurashi when they cry. Septic Metro presents. Welcome to Hinamizawa. Alright, I was expecting the movie for a sec there. But yeah, those text slideshows, those always go really fast. I wish I could spend more time on them. Okay. The chirping of birds served as my alarm clock. Oh, 10. Voice matching level at 5. Okay. Right. How about that? Oop. Alright. Oh yeah, it's a new thing, I gotta check it. I'll experiment with it, try and get it more in line. Was it today? Sunday? Wasn't it basically my style to stay up late on Saturday and sleep through the morning on Sunday? Why was I waking up at this disgustingly wholesome hour? Back to sleep, back to sleep. Keiichi, are you awake? You have a phone call. At that moment, the sound of my mother calling me from downstairs finally registered. Phone call? I sprang up out of bed abruptly and stampeded noisily down the stairs. He's awake. I'll put him on right now, my mother informed the person on the other end of the line. Hello. It's me. Who might this be? A little loud, I think. Where are we? Let's see, that's what voice volume. Alright, so let's go. Turn voice down just a hair. Morning, Keiichi-kun. I think that's a bit better. Let me know if I need to tweak some things. I hear it normally, so let me know if things are too loud, too quiet, whatever. Morning, Keiichi-kun. You're such a sleepyhead. Such a sleepyhead. Oh, Rena. What's up, calling so early in the morning? I don't think it's so early. It's the middle of the day, you know? It was 11 o'clock. I guess you could loosely consider that the middle of the day. Technically it is, yeah. So, what's up? Hold on a second. I'll put Bee-chan on now. Ohio, Kei-chan. Right. That was it. Text box opacity. There we go. Something just a bit there. Ohio, Kei-chan. If I were to say it in English, that'd be good morning. Yeah. Probably need to turn the voice down a bit more. Alright. While we're at it, why don't you try saying it in Chinese, German, and Russian as well? Ni hao, Kei-chan. Guten Morgen, Kei-chan. Russian? Das Svidanya. How the hell should I know? Isn't Das Svidanya goodbye? Well, whatever. This stupid conversation has woken me up. That's good to hear. So, Kei-chan, you free right now? If you're good, then we've got everybody. Everybody? Did she mean all the club members? That's right. You might be thinking, every day always ends in the heated competition, but at least I can spend my day off peacefully. You're too naive, Kei-chan. Yeah. The aim of our club is to find the best solution for every situation. In other words, we don't care if it's the weekend. Oh, sounds like Kei-chan has come to understand our club. So, how about it? Can you come? I had absolutely nothing planned that day. If I were to refuse Club President Mion's invitation, what other fun ways to pass the time would I have? It's not like I planned on doing anything. And if I said no, you'd probably just declare me the loser by default and force a penalty game on me anyways. If you understand that much, then you can't refuse, right? If you're okay with it, then meet us at the usual place at 1 o'clock. We're going into town, so bring your bike, okay? Club activities in town? Well, we could do them anywhere. Besides, since it was a new venue, there was no way this wasn't going to be intense. I'm holding a pretty big grudge from that narrow loss a couple days ago. I'll say it right now, I'm not going to lose. A couple of days ago was Friday's club activities. That uncompromising poker match. It was a fight to the death. Nobody held back. Nobody could tell who was in the lead, or who was last until all the points were tallied. In the end, I won by only 1 chip. Mion came in second. Damn it! To think if I hadn't squandered that 1 chip. Mion lamented thus, perhaps more so than the fact that she lost the match. Mion doesn't lose. That's why Mion only whined when she let the champion's throne slip through her fingers. That's why she was more frustrated than anybody over a close loss. So, did she mean for today to be a grudge match? Kinda seems like it. Bring it on! Just like last time, I'll shut you down and make you play that penalty game. Make sure you play in a way that you won't regret it when you lose. Wouldn't have it any other way. It'll make it all the more better when I crush you. After that, we exchanged jeers for a bit before hanging up the phone. As I headed back upstairs hastily to get the key to my bike. I'm just gonna assume it's a lock. I bumped into my mother as she was carrying a futon down. Oh, Keiichi, you seem to be in a good mood. Heading out? Something like that. I'm going to town to play with everybody. Take care. Watch out for traffic. Be back before dinner. Wash behind your ears. Yeah, I'll be back by then. After unlocking my bike from in the garage, I reveled a bit in the resistance a slightly stiff pedal gave as I pushed on it. Alright, let's go. Set off on my bike, cutting through the refreshing morning air. Keiichi-kun, you're late. Sorry to keep you waiting. Where's Satoko and Rika-chan? Rather than meeting up with them here, it's a lot quicker to just meet up in town. Oh, I see. If I remember correctly, Satoko and Rika-chan's houses were on the other side, past the school. Oh yeah, what's up with them doing club activities in town? It can't be that everybody's going to put on masks and rob banks all day, is it? I wouldn't mind doing that. Even then, I wouldn't lose to you. You see, Mi-chan always tells me the routes and schedules of the armored paint cars. I wonder why. I think voices are a little loud. What? I spun around with a serious look on my face and looked at Mion. Well, it certainly seemed possible that Mion was capable of doing that. Seriously, Mion? Rena? What are you saying? Sorry, Mii-chan. Sorry. The two of them joked around. That bright laughter was the best match for a beautiful day like today. Hey, you two. Satoko and Rika-chan are waiting for us, aren't they? Let's stop fooling around and get going. Around and around, fooling about like two fluttering butterflies. I earnestly wished I could just keep watching them like this. But the five of us together would be absolutely more fun. That's right. Well then, let's go. The goal is to plunder 1 billion. Once we split the loot, everybody scram. The three of us on our bikes headed over the gently sloping hill towards town. So now we all have bikes. That's a bit different. Accelerating hard, we crested the hill. The view expanded as Okinomiya Station came into sight. I occasionally came to the station here. Considering the amount of effort it takes to get here, though, it was quite a hassle. That's why I didn't know much about the area around the station, or Okinomiya itself for that matter. The street we were headed down today was of course unfamiliar to me as well. Going through the railway crossing, we headed past the south end of the station. This is the first time I've been this way. Around here, there's lots of things like arcades and toy stores. Mii-chan knows a lot about it. So there's an arcade. I used to go to one pretty often. My gamer's blood boils within me. Always going to an arcade? Kei-chan, you're quite the delinquent. Next time we're here, I'll show you where it is. It's a good one. It's quite a few machines. It seemed like the town of Okinomiya was Mion's stomping grounds. If I asked her, she could tell me a lot of things about it. Eventually, we came across a store with quite a few bikes parked in front of it. Was this the arcade? Da Vinci? Omocha? No, it was a smaller shop. Looking at the window display, it seemed like your everyday toy shop. But for almost 10 kids to be filing in and out of the store, they were doing almost too well for themselves. Could it be that store is having some sort of event today? Exactly. Top prize is 50,000 yen. 50,000? What the heck is that? That's the GNP of the People's Republic of Keiichi 5 times over. The two cute figures messing about the front of the store noticed us and waved their hands. Hello, everybody. We've been waiting for you. Good morning. Hey. Morning, Rika-chan. Satoko. We'll settle this before the cops get here. The goal is to plunder 1 billion. Huh? Keiichi-san, I have no idea what you're talking about. Are we late? Did we keep you two waiting? We finished early today, though we've been waiting for a while. I'm sorry about that. Kei-chan here was taking his sweet time. Well, if it was Keiichi's fault, it couldn't be helped. Saying that, Rika-chan stretched up and began patting Mion's head. Hey, wait a minute. Are you solving everything by making me the bad guy? Well, then there is the Battler's the culprit theory, or rather Keiichi's the culprit theory. He just committed suicide to toss us off his trail. Of course. Who else but Keiichi-san could fill this important role? Oh, I don't like being cast like that. If you think that this will solve everything, you're sorely mistaken. I was feeling slightly irritated, so I began to repeatedly smack Satoko on the head. Smack, 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 smack. Keiichi-san hit me! It's such a shame that Keiichi's bullying you. Toko's crying. She's crying. I'm taking her home. Your big sis here will take care of the big bad guy, okay? Wham! Rena ecstatically wiped the tears, which were probably fake, from Satoko's face, while Rika-chan gently patted mine as I lay sprawled on the ground. Yes, this is fine. Yep. This is the way things are supposed to be solved. Although, I think we should find a new punchline before you start losing teeth. Well then, upsy daisy. In any case, the greeting for today went well. Is that Keiji and Satoko in there? No, it's the skirt. Never mind. Seeing if I can find a reference anywhere. Maybe, maybe not. No. Inside the toy shop, there were about 10 boys around the same age as me. Apparently, they all knew Mion, and finding out that she had arrived, they greeted her with jeers a few at a time. Mi-chan is regular in this toy shop. Is this where she gets all her game boards? Oh, she has a lot of friends. A regular toy shop. What's up with that? Hey, Keiichi-san, take a look back here. Following Satoko's prompting, I took a look. There were chairs lined up at tables, almost like some sort of birthday party. Funky looking chairs. I realized it immediately. It couldn't be. This is the venue for today's club activities? Surprised, Kei-chan? I'm good friends with the owner here. He sometimes lets me hold game tournaments to expand his customer base. Expand his customer base. I see. Meaning all the boys livening up the place were participants? That's right. Normally it's just us 5, but today we're gonna play with lots and lots of people. Rena was innocently happy about being able to play with so many people, but my expression grew noticeably stern. Keiichi-san, I know exactly what you're thinking. No? Then why don't you try saying it? Together, okay? 1, 2. These are all enemies. Satoko's voice and mine blended together in harmony. I would not have been able to do that. I'm still trying to find references in the background. We looked over at the participants. After all, its top prize was 50,000 yen. My eyes lit up like a flame. Hey, Kei-chan. It looks like today will be fun. Well, no matter how many more rivals I have, the goal is still the same. Rivals? Kei-chan. Do you think a whale keeps track of all the krill it eats? How many loaves of bread you've eaten in your life? She said that in an unpleasant voice, laughing with the aggressive glint in her eyes, reserved solely for club activities. Damn it, Mion. She's as serious as she can get today. I'm not the only one who's serious. Take a look at Rika-chan. Mion pointed, looking at where her finger directed me. What the heck is that? Rika-chan was using those kinds of traits to soften up the group with an almost excessive pleasantness. I'm also gonna do my best. Go for it! Yay! Go for it! Yay! Completely emasculated, the group joined Rika-chan in a cheer. The inside of the store had been consumed by the world of Rika-chan. Damn, she's already chomping at the bit. It seems like today's gonna be fun. I'm gonna do my best. It seemed that Rena was also unusually fired up by the large crowd. Hopping about and running around, she had entered entirely into cute mode. In Rena's case, the real fun starts when her tension gauge fills up. Her happy-go-lucky attitude bellied the fact that this was the state in which she was the most threatening. Mion was making small talk with some of the regular customers she was acquainted with. It was like business as usual with her. Of course, if anybody thought that Mion looked ordinary, they were not qualified to be in our club. The shadow beneath her feet was exuding killer instinct, rising up like a chill wind. Damn it, Mion. Throwing away her honor and humanity like that. She's serious. Keiichi-san, didn't you know? The 50,000 yen prize is from Mion-san's own pockets. What? She's putting out the 50 grand all by herself? At that moment, a dark miasma that warped Mion's surroundings began to appear. What is it, Kei-chan? Is there something on my face? A shiver crept up my spine. That Mion, crowing herself like that. She was pulling out the demon lurking within her. It was her. It was obviously her. Fine with me. Damn it. My knees are shaking like crazy. Before I realized it, the store had filled up with even more people. However, the looks in their eyes weren't confrontational. They were looks of expectation and curiosity. They were the eyes of onlookers who were wondering what kind of match was going to occur, and who was going to win. You couldn't ask for a better stage than this. This is getting interesting. Keiichi-kun, let's do our best, okay? Do our best. Oh. Rena was already fully charged. Mortal laws and common sense held no power before the might of Rena in her cute mode. I definitely didn't want to fight her, if possible. Rika-chan, do your best. We're all cheering you on. Okay, I'll do my best. Rika-chan, who was exuding way too much charm no matter how you looked at it, had already won over most of the onlookers to their side. Nonchalantly avoiding things had always been Rika-chan's creed, but for her to be blatantly laying out her machinations like this, something was definitely strange. Like Rena, she was somebody who I didn't want to fight if I could help it. Of course, the one you don't want to fight the most is Mion-san. I've been lucky to even leave alive more than a few times at the end of club activities, but I don't think there was a day that even came close to being this dangerous. Mion-san seems to have developed quite the grudge after losing that poker match a few days back, you know? It seems that way. In other words, today is just an elaborate stage for her revenge. Almost as though she were psychic, Mion turned towards us. Her eye silently conveyed the message. You guys just figured that out now? It wasn't just Mion. Both Rena and Rika-chan were more pumped up than they'd ever been. Yeah, one is going to pop up today. Without a doubt, there'll be casualties. It seems that somehow Keiichi-san and I are the only ones left. What do you think? Should we not have our match during the opening round? Might as well. I need to warm up before I can really kick it into gear. My spinal column shuddered like it had been stuck in a bolt of lightning, and like a pillar of ice being jammed into it began to freeze. I could almost see the flames backlighting Satoko with their intensity. Even then, while Satoko was displaying a normal smile, it was cold and inhuman, almost as if it were a plastic mask. You must really want to eliminate me in the opening round. You can't hide that murderous intent. Oh, that's too bad. You're being uncharacteristically cautious today, Keiichi-san. Well, he did just die, so it's understandable. Without a doubt, it was a trap. I don't know what she had up her sleeve, but if I fought with Satoko during the opening round, my loss would be more certain than if it weren't against Mion. A pitch-black miasma permeated the inside of the store. Did they all want to win that 50 grand prize that much? No, that's not right. The only ones competing for the prize money were the casual participants. I was different. I had mistaken this as just a way to fool around on a normal Sunday. It didn't matter whether it was here, where it was, or who our opponents were. In our club, the goal is always the very top of the mountain. An intense flame that no strong winds could extinguish, hot enough to melt any steel, began to burn inside me. The fuse had been lit on this unprecedentedly intense club battle. It was then that the owners of the store told Mion in a lackadaisical voice that it was about time to begin. Is everybody ready? Listen close now. Mion began with the formalities, standing in before the owner and explained the rules of today's tournament. You're only playing to win. There is no second or third place. That's the same rule as our club. There were 15 people participating. We were split up into 5 groups via a draw, and each group would have one winner. Each winner in the first stage would advance to the next in order to compete in the final. Now, as for how each group will compete, each sample can decide to play whatever they want. As long as the game is here in the shop, anything goes. Already in club mode DEFCON 1, I didn't let the small gap in the rules go unnoticed. Mia, can I ask a question? Won't everybody push to play a game they're good at and not be able to agree on which one? Oh, that's right. If we can't decide, we can't start. The spectators also nodded along. It was only natural. There wasn't anybody who would simply cede to their opponent's suggestion. I'd prefer if you were all good sports to manage to come to a decision on your own. But if it comes to a stalemate, should we have the store's owner decide for you? It was an event at a toy store, after all. You'd expect the owner to referee. After that, Mion's rundown continued. It ended with the rules that any losing participants would have to buy the game they lost at. A rather nice proposition for the store. Fair enough, that's actually a good business one. First, we used a draw to split into 5 groups. Everybody lined up single file and began to draw tickets that the shop owner had prepared. It was my turn. Alright, time to draw. No matter who I was up against, I'd crush them. At that moment, Mian began to laugh with a hawkish gleam in her eye. Of course, I'm sure you already know, but club members will have a separate penalty game than the casual participants. I thought as much. What's the gist of it? The winner gets to give the losers 1 order each. Contrary to how simple it sounded, it was a terrifying eventuality, the subject of which no one could predict. Damn you, Mion. Was she really planning on parading me around Hinamizawa in cat ears in a banana hammock with a tail attached or something? The look on Mion's face told me she wasn't going to let me off that easy. On top of that, this time, it wasn't just the person who finished last who'd have to submit to the penalty game. The losers get 1 order each. In other words, even if you don't finish last, you still have to do a penalty game. That'd be the case. What about if there's no winner? Like if all the club members drop out midway through? Gei-chan, are you alright in the head? What? The look in Mion's eye became that of a lying bear in its fangs. How, exactly, are the elite members of our club going to lose to some mewling newborns? Gei-chan, don't embarrass me by getting eliminated in the first round. Even so, I didn't feel threatened. The more info my opponent was, the stronger I would become. You just wait and see. I won't just sit here and be bullied by you, Mion. I'll show you. We shall meet in the finals. The results of the draw were enough to make you cry conspiracy. All of the members of the club were nicely divvied up amongst the 5 tables. How did this happen when the draw was that random? The thought that I was already caught in Mia's puppet strings made me feel uneasy. That was fine, though. I'll crush all you petty tricks. Now, where were my opponents? Everybody was headed to the table corresponding to the number on their ticket. The competition at my table was these 2. Huh? They actually have artwork. So these kids have artwork before Keiichi. That's sad, Keiichi. That's sad. They look younger than me. Aren't you 2 classmates of mine? Oh, hi. I'm Tomita. This is Okamura. Okamura-kun greeted me by nodding his head. So my opening round was to be against my juniors from school. Just saying, but it seemed like a pretty easy matchup. Lucky? Time to destroy them without mercy. Alright then, everybody. Please decide on your games and start. With Mion's declaration, the inside of the store suddenly became lively. Everybody was yelling their favorite games at each other, trying to gain an advantage before they started. Even my 2 classmates, who seemed taciturn at first glance, began to fiercely insist on their own games as soon as a signal was given. Of course, I would kick those suggestions aside. There was absolutely no reason to pick a game your opponent was good at. Sorry, they're all games I don't know. Could you pick something a little more well-known? Of course, they didn't agree to the games I suggested either. I could only smirk bitterly. Naturally, after 5 minutes, this table still couldn't agree on a game. Obeying the rules, we asked the store owner to decide on a game. Clearing his throat, the shop owner brought over a game board from the back of the store. It was a game called Billionaire. Quite the vintage we have here. Come to think of it, if you lose, you have to buy this game. That damn shop owner. Was he using his competition to get rid of all the games he couldn't sell? Smart businessman. And wasn't it's called Billionaire. Keiichi wanted to aim for $1 billion. I see something amok. I know this one. You guys do too, right? Spin the wheel and head to the goal. Whoever has the most money after we liquidate our assets is the winner. The 2 nodded in agreement, and finally the game was underway. At that time, I already had a feeling of impending crisis. I wouldn't realize why until the game progressed a bit. Is it Monopoly? 1, 2, 3, 4? Celebrate the birth of your child. Oh, it's life. Receive $5 grand from everybody. Sorry. Okay, I've built up a bit of a lead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bonus. Receive 100,000 from the bank. The tables were turned in an instant. 1, 2, 3. Proceed to the corporate ladder course. Oh, that's a good route. Seemed like only my piece was landing on the steady spaces. I had doubts as to why Mion didn't bring out board games for club activities, but that reason was laid bare to me before my eyes. That's right. I'd only realized it now. This game was completely based on luck. What could I possibly do to make sure I ended up in first place at the end? The ultimate outcome of this game was decided in a place beyond human hands. How were the other club members doing? My eyes naturally wandered off to the other tables. Mion's table was what? They weren't doing anything? Had they still not decided on a game? This naive idea existed to distract me from the most frightening possibility. Mion was lounging about, leisurely holding some juice she bought from the vending machine outside in one hand. When our eyes met, she gave me a look of ease. It couldn't be. She'd already finished? What game was it? That easily? Probably too late to be concerned with that at this point. Only 5 minutes since we started, and her 2 opponents were already beyond recourse. They were sitting there, slumped over in disappointment, muttering to themselves, trying to figure out where they went wrong. For that, they'd find no answer. Was there any reason for their defeat other than they sat at the same table as Mion? Then what about Rena's table? The spectators were causing quite a commotion. It looked like their game was Karuta. The shop owner was apparently the one reading out the cards. Rena tended to dawdle along and space out a lot. Wouldn't she have a hard time with this game? Then I'll read it out. The dog gets tired on a walk. Bam! Impossible, where did it go? It was against Rena's cheek. She was rubbing it there. Oh, so cute. I'm taking it home. Looking at the card Rena was rubbing against her cheek, it was some anime-themed version of Karuta, with rather cute moe illustrations decorating the cards. Basically, it was a picture of a pretty dog girl with a slightly large chest, panting and half in tears as she was being pulled along on a chain. Alright. With those types of pictures, even I could play with godlike speed. Of all people to play that game, it had to be Rena. It was entirely possible that her fingertips were on the verge of breaking the sound barrier. Thank you. It's over. Mion smiled coolly, seeing no further reason to keep watching. She turned back. So cute, so cute. Even if Rena wins, I'll still buy these cards. I'm taking them home. Oh. After that, the second the card started being read out, bam, bam, such decisive sounds echoed. Well then, how about Satoko? Oh, she was playing a rather orthodox game. Concentration. Judging from the distressed look on Satoko's face, it seemed that she was struggling somehow. One of the main characteristics of concentration is that the pace of the game speeds up as it goes on. As the number of cards memorized decreases, it becomes easier to match several pairs in a row. It wouldn't be exaggeration to say that the first person to take over the flow of the match can run away as the winner. The cards still in play had decreased. If you memorized the cards that had been turned over before, you should have a good chance to sweep the table at this point. Satoko probably knew the positions of all the remaining cards. However, her turn came a little too late. If her opponent followed up, the match would be decided. Hojo, sorry, but I'm also aiming for the prize money. Don't hate me for this. This guy, did he have the location of the remaining cards memorized? He was completely certain of his victory. The tension on his face relaxed. It's over. I whispered that in a bored manner as I turned my attention back to my own game. I spun the wheel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? No way! The Ace of Hearts should have been here! There was a commotion at Satoko's table as the shout rang out. The other two at my table turned around in surprise. I didn't. After all, there really wasn't anything to be surprised about. The onlookers were confused, most of them certain that the Ace of Hearts should have been there. There's no way. I must be seeing things. Must have been because I was excited. So assured in his victory, the distress over his defeat ran deep. That's how it is. If his opponent wasn't Satoko, then the Ace of Hearts certainly would have been there. What a fool. When you're up against Satoko, you can't let your guard down for a moment until the battle is over. Keiji-san, you still haven't finished your match? You have no sense for these things. With a refined tone of voice reserved for only winners, Satoko called out to me. For the casual observer, it must have looked like she only eked out a victory. From my point of view, however, she was only playing around. The roles of winner and loser had already been decided. It was nothing more than child's play. The laughable part about it was that her opponents didn't know his role had already been assigned. Nice work there, setting up a farce of a trap with the Ace of Hearts. My opponent only walked into one of my traps. Even then, one was more than enough. Satoko was a trapper. Her true talent was never having one misfire. Setting off only one trap was more than enough? Ain't that cool. The fact that the other club members were winning one after another with their own brand of play only added to my impatience and my own lack of progress. Alright, how was Rika-chan doing? How was their club's sly little fox doing? What the heck is that? Over in that corner, the mood at that table was decidedly different from the others. The game at Rika-chan's table was, you know, that battery-powered fishing game? The one where the fish open and close their mouths as they rotated on the platform and you use a magnetic fishing rod to pick them up? That old thing. It seemed they planned on competing by seeing who could catch the most fish, but it had become an atmosphere you could hardly call competitive. Wow, I caught one. You're so good. Rika-chan, you're good at this. Oh my, she caught another one. Rika-chan is really good at this. I knew that Rika-chan had already charmed her opponents, along with the onlookers, before the matches had even begun, but brilliantly played. That corner had become an informal meeting of the Rika Furude fan club. It's Rika-chan's total victory. Total victory. Rika-chan's good at fishing, isn't she? What Rika-chan is trolling for probably isn't fish. Hearing that, she glanced over my way briefly. This is my way of getting serious. That's what I heard. This is a masterful technique that only Rika is allowed. Only Rika can do. Yeah, a masterful technique. Maibara-san, it's your turn. Oh, sorry. Yes, it is. 1, 2. Fine for tax evasion. Pay 50 grand. In contrast, my game, what an unseemly situation this was. Noticing the uneasiness creeping across my face, my companions came to see how I was doing. Huh? Keiichi-kun, could it be you're struggling? You're struggling? Okamura? Right now, how much money do you have? Okamura, who had wrung lots of money out of the elite course, began to count through a stack of white $100,000 bills. About 180,000, I guess. How much money do you have, Tomita? I have 880,000. I'm so close enough to turn this around. Those two look like they would easily surpass $1 million. Well, Kei-chan, how much do you have? Mion's tone of voice was grim from the get-go. It was her disappointment to discuss as club president. It can't be helped. There's no strategy involved other than spinning the wheel in this game. How am I supposed to cheat? Tell those two to close their eyes and count to 100 while I rig the wheel? Well, there's no way I can do that. Rika-chan gently pet my head. Still, she wasn't too happy. How pathetic. At one point I thought you'd be a worthy adversary. I've been utterly disillusioned. Don't give up, Keiichi-kun. There has to be some way to make a comeback. Do your best. Right till the end. Like I said, how am I supposed to make a comeback with this game relying entirely on luck? Right, Mion? You cheat. Mion's face, however, was almost unbelievably indifferent, like she was watching something completely unexciting. She then turned her back without saying a word. Hey, me. It was a pathetic voice that irked even myself. I'm disappointed. Everybody was serious about this, but Kei-chan was the only one who wasn't. What do you mean by serious? Are you telling me to control the spinner through sheer force of will? How can I do that? If you were serious about it, you would have settled this game 10 seconds from when you started. Mei-chan, you don't have to get so angry. Wait. Mion, in a bad mood, cast me aside and disappeared into the depths of the shop. Maybe it was because it had become an awkward situation, but the spectators dispersed from around my table. Damn it! Are you saying I'm not serious about this? Are you saying if I were serious, I would have settled this game of chance in 10 seconds? If I were serious... Everybody was praying for my victory. They believed in me. Oh, no they don't. Did I betray their expectations? Was it because I wasn't serious? Ugh. Should we continue the game? The two of them were timidly trying to resume play. I didn't respond to that. The table sunk into silence. Maibara-kun, should I take that to mean you're giving up? The owner, thinking I was forfeiting, started to announce the cancellation of the game. At that moment, The demon inside me let loose a howl and awakened. I get it now, Mia. What it means for me to be serious. I'll show you. Bam. I clamp my hands on their shoulders, speaking in a low voice after pulling them closer. Tomita-kun, Okamura-kun, let's make a deal. Let me win. The two of them, not immediately understanding what I just said or the meaning behind it, were momentarily confused. Hey, Marabasa, no violence. Let's settle the game properly. Just listen to what I have to say. What is it you guys want? The 50 grand yen prize? Well, of course. Winning that kind of money is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Even supposing you win, what are you going to do with that money? How are you going to enjoy it? The two of them considered it briefly. Buy a new game or something? Snacks? Maybe some juice? That's petty. So petty. Are you guys stupid? Then how will you enjoy it if you win, my Bar-san? Me? That's the point. Just shut up and listen to what I have to say. Not the best of an argument. We club members have a penalty game separate from the casual participants. If we lose, we have to obey a single command from the winner. From another point of view, the winner earns the prize of being able to order the other club members around. First of all, Tomita-kun, you like Satoko, right? Don't deny it. Next, Okamura-kun, you like Rika, right? Don't turn red. I drew the two of them red-faced and conscious of whether anybody else heard what I just said, even closer. Lollies. Moe. What men covet. What men dream about. It's like an unreachable Garden of Eden. Even then, you'd still aim for it, wouldn't you? That's because our passionate souls scream for Moe. Not me, but that sensitive age where you couldn't say you liked the girl you liked. Understanding that gave me all the more power. Tomita-kun, if I win, I'll make Satoko wear a collar and be your little sister for a day. Psh, a red fountain spewed from both Tomita-kun's nostrils. Also, Okamura-kun, I'll put cat ears on Rika-chan and let you take her out for a walk on a leash. Blood erupted from the vein in Okamura-kun's forehead. Don't be shy. Just pretend I forced you to go along with me. You two are simply sacrifices to Maibara-senpai's whims. You can pretend to be against it. I understand. I know everything that your hearts desire. Then I suddenly lowered the tone of my voice. My school life was very bleak. I know with my very body how foolish it is to waste such an important time in your lives. So, to you, my juniors, I don't want you to live your lives like that. Be honest with yourselves. Chase your dreams. Fulfill them. I'll fulfill them for you. It was this moment that the values of men bridged generations. My Bar-san! Did I ever have a mentor who ever spoke my mind for me so strongly? Never. There's no way there was. That's because in a man's lifetime you'll only have 3 fateful encounters. That valuable first time was being experienced right this moment with these two. It's fine then? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Game over! It was such an assertive declaration in the game's ending that everybody in the store turned and looked. It had been less than 3 minutes since I was on the verge of forfeit, and all the spectators were certain of my loss. Keiichi-san, what happened? Who won? It was my complete victory. What did you say? Exactly how did you overcome that situation? There's no need to explain what happened. It was a gentleman's agreement. Right, guys? Yes, sir! The two of them, stifling tears of gratitude, entered strongly from the bottom of their hearts. Exactly what kind of miracle occurred here during those 3 minutes the spectators all looked away from my utter disadvantage? You did it! You did it, Keiichi-kun! Yay! The spectators were puzzled at how I was able to so quickly overcome that hopeless situation. That guy, is he able to control the spinner wheel with his eyes or something? It's a miracle. What devilry is this? He's in cahoots with that Mion, you know? There's no doubt he had some strange trick up his sleeve. I looked at the crowd, who couldn't help but be excited. Out of the corner of my eye, now fully awakened and in battle mode, I let out a derisive laugh. So this is what it means for me to be serious. Mion. You took your sweet time. Baring our fangs at each other, we laughed together in a most unsightly fashion. And this, all the club members have cleared the first round then. Which means, this time, it's a match against everybody. A match. I've already decided what I'm going to buy with the prize money. That's only natural. Right? Satoko and Rena smiled. Sneered at each other? These guys. Do they really think they can win against Keiichi Maebara when he gets serious? Mion. That was a mistake. You shouldn't have offered me advice just now. What a mewling newborn you are. You're a million light years too early to think you can win against me. Mion. Light years are a measure of distance. Oh, she's embarrassed. She's embarrassed. What are we doing, Mii-chan? How are the five of us gonna face off? How? Well, now. We have such a splendid lineup. It'd be a waste to rush things. Mii is saying something complicated again. It couldn't be. Why you? Mion's hair flowed elegantly, almost like a cape as she turned her back to the table. As for today's contest, I, Club President Mion Sonozaki, will reserve judgment for now. The method and time are yet undecided. The more spectators, the better. It should be in front of everybody from Hinamizawa and Okinomiya. By then, we'll know the best way to finally settle things. Are you running away from this? This is too unfair, even for you, Mion-san. You newborn. Do you still not realize what has happened? The competitive aura billowing out of Mion's body formed a barrier, stopping Satoko's advance. We'll meet again. Prepare yourselves for your inevitable defeat. With a shrill laugh, Mion left the store. After a moment of silence, the crowd erupted into cheers. When will they resume the contest? Mion's serious. The other members did great too. That new guy, Maebara, he's got some strange power. He turned the tables in an instant. Maebara-san! You've got to win! Yeah, I'll dunk someone like Mion head first into the river Styx for you. The part of the crowd that had apparently overheard the covenant between Tomitaku-kun, Omikura-kun, and myself erupted into a cheer again. Mion's going to win out anyways. She's the undefeated Empress. I'm betting on Mion. No, it's going to be Rena with that ungodly speed. Satoko, the trap artist. Rika, the siren. It may be a long shot, but it'll be Maebara. However, right now I had no fear for those cheerful voices. Setting the stage for this huge match and then running away like that, I wasn't going to forgive Mion. Outside of the store, Mion was getting on her bike as the shop owner was seeing her off. Don't run away, Mion! If you're the club president, don't run! Fight me! Oh, sorry, Kei-chan. Right now, I've got to get to my part-time job. Huh? Like you would see in a sketch comedy show, my legs slipped in the opposite direction until I was doing the splits. Yeah. While you were playing your game, Mii-chan received a phone call. It's too bad. It was just getting good too. Not our lucky day. They're getting crushed at the sale over at my uncle's store. They don't have enough people to work the register, so he called me for help. When you say your uncle, does he manage a supermarket or something? It's just a small store. But whenever you put stuff on special, all the housewives swarm in like locusts. Don't they have any common sense? Even though they don't have enough staff, they're selling a carton of eggs for 10 yen. Limit 1 per customer. I was a little surprised. You would never think that this was the club president exuding such a dark aura inside the store just a short time ago. It was the usual Mion right now, almost exasperatingly so. My shoulders slumped. That's right. Club mode was over now, but it was really heated today. It was really fun. Damn, Mion. She really knows how to fire people up. Me too. I got so fired up my head started to tingle. Especially K-chan. That was scary. I thought he was going to eat me alive there. It works, so I guess there's nothing you can do. But it really is too bad. I really want to continue this some other time. Anytime is good. How about we do it at the Watanagashi festival? The cotton drifting 5-demon firefight. That's right. I'll think about it. Right now, what were Rika-chan and Mion talking about? Watanagashi festival? Cotton drifting 5-demon what? I love it when things turn out all over the top and manga-like. It'd be nice if we could have another thrilling club activity like this soon. She laughed with a smile that made you feel refreshed just looking at it. At that moment, the shop owner came out carrying a paper bag. I wonder what it is. Is he giving it to us? Thank you, everybody, for today. Thanks to you, the event went really well. It's not much, but here's a little something for you guys. Hey, Uncle Yoshiro, isn't there a little something for me too? My. Quite an adorable one, is it not? Once Ch.2 and Rika-chan opened up the bag, there were cute little stuffed animals inside. Wow, they're so cute. Can I take them home? I really can. Which means there's something for me too. Oh, I got a pretty adorable one. It was a stuffed toy wearing a beautiful dress, one you'd use to play house. Rena's eyes were glued to my stuffed doll. Ch.2 was the same, and Rika-chan too? K-chan got the one that fits him the least. How do I say this? I could say it's pretty or cute. Well, I guess it's cute and pretty. I can admit it's adorable, but a doll with changeable clothes is... If you walked around with it, then you'd be treated like a weirdo starting tomorrow. Definitely. Mion didn't have to go that far. This wasn't something a guy like me should be carrying around. Mion was the only one who hadn't received a present, so I thought about giving it to her. However, after briefly considering, I gave it to Rena instead. Huh? You're giving it to me? To Rena? Thank you! Just protecting myself. If I didn't give it to Rena, then walking the streets at night would be scary. No doubt, no doubt. I thought about giving it to Mion, but it just didn't feel right. You know it. I sometimes wonder why I wasn't born a boy. It's better that you're a girl. If you were a boy, I would have killed you already. You kinda did? Sort of? You should kill me while you still can. If you don't, K-chan, you might not live to regret it. Mion laughed after saying such an ominous line. Everybody laughed heartily along with her. Ask God to make you a boy in your next life. I'll also have him make me a boy. Then together, the two of us will start with taking over the country as a warm-up. Mion-chan, if you don't get going soon, the shop owner told her meekly. A lot of us looked like we were having a lot of fun, so it must have been hard to put a wet blanket on things. Later then. Today was really fun. I'll see you later, guys. Tomorrow, at school. Don't be late for work. Everybody waved their hands and watched as Mion left. Before I knew it, the sun was already setting and the breeze carried a hint of chill. Should we play for a bit more in town? Or should we go home? The road gets scary when it's dark. Then, I guess it's time to leave. We certainly caused a ruckus today. We sure did. Okay, let's go home. The wind blew gently as if to cool down those of us flushed with enthusiasm. The road back to Hinamizawa was long, but I really didn't mind. Oh, that's right. Rena-san, you achieved an overwhelming victory, didn't you? When Rena gets like that, I'm sorry to say it, but there's no winning against her. It's because the cards were so cute. See? I bought them. Oh. Rika was the same as usual. When it comes to boys, it's like taking candy from a baby. It was an easy win. How much was calculated and how much was natural? I get scared when I think about how Rika will turn out in the future. Satoko-chan was amazing too. The way it ended was really exciting. It wasn't the sort of game where I should be complimented. Keiichi, you also showed your fangs at the end there. Hmm? Well, yes. I'm the type of guy who's strongest when he's cornered. Technically, I can't argue that. Tomita-san and the others seem to be cheering you on really hard. What was that about? You made some sort of promise with Tomita and Okamura. It's probably a secret. A secret? A secret? Oh, I wonder what it is, I wonder. Sometimes, for a man, there are times we can only understand one another by fighting. That is actually true. Just duke it out and you'll understand a hell of a lot better than any discussion. It's not often, and I've not run into it, but yeah, duke it out and sort it out by fighting. You come to a very good understanding. Desperately laughing, I frantically tried to avoid the subject. After that, everybody continued to praise each other for how they defeated their opponents, and reflected on how fun today was. A perfect example is this club here. They know each other extremely well from fighting to the death. Over board games and poker. Everybody look! The sunset is beautiful! Satoko, getting more excited, pointed, waiting where her finger indicated was an immense sunset, casting even longer shadows on us on our bikes. The cries of the Higurashi were gentle and very comforting. Higurashi when they cry. Welcome to Inamizawa. Who's Mion's uncle? That is indeed the question. Game Masters, huh? Oh. I'm gonna skip the tip for now. I'll read it next time, since we had that first chapter bit. And try and even out the reading some. I wonder why afternoons always make you feel sleepy like this. Mion spoke in a voice that went so far as to make whoever heard it lethargic. You want a medical explanation or sleepiness? I could say it, but I'll just make you more sleepy. Spare me. It was almost 3 o'clock. 6th period was almost over. By the way, Satoko and everyone else in the lower grades ended their school day after 5th period, so they were probably running around in the schoolyard right now. I could hear their joy-filled voices coming from there right now, Oh, what I wouldn't give to be able to join them. Me-chan, you're the class representative, so you have to try harder. No going to sleep. You see, rather than the class representative, I'd rather be the president of the boxing club. They get to sleep a lot. Oh, what makes you think that? At the boxing gym, they're always hitting the sack. Get it? Damn. The teacher cackled as she hit the back of Mion's head with the corner of a textbook. That's all for me. I'll leave it at that for today. Representative, please direct the class. That was a horrible joke. Everybody stand up. At attention. Mion, who had been half asleep, became lively again the moment she heard the class was over. Must be delightful to be that shrewd. Homeroom was done after the lower grades had finished their lessons, so we were free to go. No, I won't. I'll make note. If not, you can remind me. It was one of the odd roles we had as a mixed grade school. When the new class was over, Satoko and Rika-chan returned to the classroom. Good work today. Alright, it's time for Happy Fun Club activities. Yeah, that's right. What should we do today? Hey, Mi-chan, why don't we continue what we started yesterday? Yes, we should do that. To have it end like that when things were getting good, I won't accept it. Now, I know how you feel. Let's save that for another time. Something like that shouldn't be done somewhere dinky like a classroom after school, but a grander stage. I'm down whenever. But some of the younger guys said they'd watch me in the finals, so let me know ahead of time. Oh, Keiji-kun, you're amazing. There's people cheering you on. I wonder if there's anybody cheering on Rena. I couldn't help but watch as Rena entered her pining maiden mode. I'm not gonna pull any punches, but I'll pray for your victory, Rena. The saccharine Keiichi brand smile. I ruffles Rena's hairs roughly. I ruffled Rena's hair roughly. Ain't that a tongue twister? Shit. Say that 3 times fast, I dare ya. What? Oh. Keiichi-kun, what are you... Oh. Rena turned bright red and short-circuited, smoke billowing from both her ears. Gazing into her eyes, the strange scene of me holding hands with Rena and skipping through a flower bed was reflected there. Even if it wasn't somebody else's imagination, it was terribly troubling. Meet Keiichi, the Rena killer. When Rika-chan said that, everyone burst out laughing at once. Aye. Bit on the nose there, huh? That Rena is the Satoko and Rika-chan killer, though. Is that foreshadowing? It may be true that we can't win against Rena, but we won't lose to Keiichi. Oh, this is becoming a pretty interesting relationship, Nap. Our strengths kind of interact like a rock, paper, scissors. But that doesn't include Mion, does it? Of course not. It doesn't matter who it is. I won't lose. Mion leered with a gaze befitting of a club president. No, befitting of an empress. The mood in the room became more lively. It was as good a moment as any to get started. Well now, let's get started. Nice and easy. Yeah. So then, Mi-chan, what shall we do today? Mion let out a small interjection as she rummaged through the so-called club locker. Every time I look, there's always a ton of things crammed in there. That's how lockers go. Everything that's jammed in that locker is a game of some kind, you know? I just noticed the little text on the top right. The top there. Himawari. I think is what it is. I can't. No, sorry. Just odd distraction. On top of that, things used for penalty games like cat ears and collars were kept in there. The capacity for that thing is unfathomable. That locker, maybe it actually extended through the wall into the fourth dimension. That's my theory anyways. If not that, then how else could you explain how someone could pull out item after item? After Mion touched her hand to her chin briefly in thought, she turned around without pulling out any games. Why don't we try and keep it a bit simple today? Playing games that require lots of pieces all the time can be a little bland, right? It doesn't matter what game it is. If everybody plays together, we can have fun. Yeah, that's right, that's right. Rena and I both expressed our agreement. I feel the same way. With this group, you gotta be really particular without that, though. With this group, there's no doubt even if we were pulling weeds from the school grounds, it would be fun. Maybe. That would be fun for me. Pulling weeds or whatever. Ah, that's right, isn't it? By the way, Satoko, would you stop reading people's minds by looking at their expressions? You just did that to Rena, didn't you? Whatever you're thinking is always written all over your face. So I always know right away. I've always been told that, but ever since I transferred, it seems like it's been especially bad. I need to develop a poker face or I could be in for a rough time. Alright, everybody, pay attention. I'm going to explain the rules. We all immediately cut the idle chatter and put on stern expressions. In no time at all, everybody's gaze focused like a tiger or a shark, listening intently. That's right. From the point where the rules are explained, the match has already begun. Today's game is probably better known as a party game. And its penalty especially, huh? Well, I don't think we'll be able to cover it in 20 minutes. I think it'll be a bit too long for that. But we'll see, we'll see. Today's game is probably better known as a party game. It's called Sympathy. Has anybody heard of it before? Not personally. Sympathy. It means to share someone's feelings, right? Huh? Maybe I might know this. Me-chan, maybe it's the game where we choose a topic and everybody writes down the first word that comes to mind. And the more people who share the same answers, the more points are awarded? In that case, Rena knows about it. Oh, I remember. I recall playing a game like that in grade school while we were on the bus during a field trip. I may have played something like that back in the day, but once. I'm not familiar with this game. I would like an explanation. First of all, we have the leader choose a topic. For example, if they choose dessert. Satoko-chan, when somebody says dessert, what's the first thing you think of? Let's see here. Pudding, or something. Okay, in that case, Satoko, you would write down pudding on your memo pad. Then, everybody reveals their answer at the same time. If there's 2 or more people who wrote down pudding, they get points. The more people who write down the same answer, the more points are awarded. So if everybody writes down the same answer, that's a max of 5 points. In other words, the trick is to think so that what you write down is the same answer as everybody else. It was exactly as Rika-chan said. The point of this game was to think in a way so that you have the same answer as everybody else. For example, if you heard the word dessert and immediately thought of strawberry sundae, if your answer doesn't match up with everybody else, you don't get any points. That's why you have to hold off on that answer, and change the one that seems like everyone else will choose. The key becomes not what you think yourself, but being able to predict what everybody else will answer. It's a very high-level intellectual game. It can be. Me, for Satoko's sake, let's try practicing for 1 round. Okay. For this round, seeing as I'm club president, the leader will be me, alright? She's always in command. She's always in command. The topic can be something random. Taking out her literature textbook, she began flipping to a random page. Alright then, this is the only practice round. The first topic is shaved dice. When you say shaved dice, there's only one answer, isn't there? Among the standard flavors of shaved dice, there's strawberry, melon, and blue Hawaii. The most popular amongst those is obviously melon. What do you get strawberry, person? Everyone wrote down an answer, and everybody shows theirs at the same time, okay? Ready, go! Strawberry, melon, strawberry, strawberry. What? I'm the only one with melon? Guys, I'm not doing something so mundane as picking strawberry as the standard. Hey Rena, would you actually order strawberry? Shaved dice? The first thing that always sells out at summer festivals is always melon, isn't it? Rena also likes melon flavor. But really, it's all about the strawberry, right? Right? Kei-chan, if I was to pick, I would actually choose melon. But you see, this is a word association game. If somebody says shaved ice, the first thing you think of is strawberry. I'm still not entirely convinced, but in any case, it's this type of game. If everybody just always picks the common one, it'll just be a tie all the way through. So you gotta pick the second best to knock out the simple ones, I'm guessing. Rika, what exactly did you write? Is that a type of shaved ice? It's Ujikintoki. It's incredibly delicious, you know. Well, it might be delicious, sure, but it's not exactly run-of-the-mill. Still, that's a pretty refined choice. Satoko, did this help you get a good idea? There were 3 people who wrote down strawberry, so those people get 3 points. Ujikintoki, that's a code. That's a code, that's my guess. We compete to see who can get the most. Yeah, I've got it. More importantly, Mion-san, what shall we do about today's penalty game? Oh, there's gonna be one after all. What will it be? What will it be? What should it be? Kei-chan, you have a suggestion? What? For the penalty game? When I was in elementary school, there was a penalty game. Yeah, it can only be that. Schlepping. In other words, that thing where the loser has to carry around everybody else's baggage. It happened often to the boys. Elementary school kids walking around completely covered in backpacks. You see it a lot. But how will we do that? Satoko-chan and Rika-chan's houses are at complete opposite directions from ours. And how about the loser carries just the winner's stuff to their house? Getting everybody's stuff to their house would involve covering a pretty sizable distance. Oh, yeah. Just that much might be alright. Somehow, today's penalty game is pretty simple. With a penalty game of this level, it wouldn't even be fun to make Keiichi-chan do it. Then shall we raise the stakes a bit? Not just playing porter. Ta-da! How about we have someone schlep stuff around dressed in this? Why a maid outfit of all things? Wouldn't that be the default choice for a penalty game like this? Oh, it's cute and all, but no way. But you see, what do we do if Keiichi-san loses? We don't have a size that fits him. Oh, I didn't let that little detail get by. I have a nice extra large size one prepared just for Kei-chan. Where are you getting this shit? So, Kei-chan, are you ready? I'm gonna have you walk around outside dressed up as a maid. Just from the headband to the finer details, I've got it all prepared for you. This is insane! Why do you have every possible size of that type of thing in that locker? bad, Keiichi Maebara. Somehow, it's become a worse situation. Only my failure results in an overly cruel price to pay. What if I make a mistake and lose? I wouldn't be able to walk around in broad daylight anymore. Oh, ma'am. About that Maebara boy. Did you hear about him? Seems like he has a penchant for cross-dressing. Oh my, really? That'd be so embarrassing, you know? Oh, ho, 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 ho. That's way too harsh. That's just incredibly brutal. But Keiji, you're not thinking of the flip side. If we return to this penalty of some semblance of normalcy, now is the only time. Everybody, I think we should refrain from this unwholesome penalty game. Why, on the way back home from school? Do we have to be accompanied by a girl wearing a maid uniform and carrying our baggage? Having them say master, while dragging them around the village in such an embarrassing outfit? Pant. Wait, why am I panting? What is this? This feeling welling up inside me. Hey, let's just make it a normal penalty game. Wait, Keiichi-kun is frozen stiff. Burning with passion, I firmly placed my hands on Rena's shoulders. Rena, there's no problem with the penalty game. I just have to win. That's right, everybody. I turned to everybody with an idiotic grin, with my pearly whites flashing with a brilliant gleam. No, Kei-chan, you've come around to the idea, eh? No matter what the penalty game is, there's no reason to be afraid. You just have to win. Right, everybody? Yeah. Yeah. From Mion to Rika, everybody energetically thrust their fists up high. Only Rena seemed somewhat undecided, standing there looking flustered. She's a little bit slow, isn't she? If she wins, even for Rena, it's quite a delectable opportunity. Hey, Rena, don't you see this as a pretty big opportunity? Rika-chan or Zadoku-chan in a maid outfit, coming right to your doorstep. This is a historically great chance, isn't it? Sploosh. Rena began spouting a fountain of blood from her nose. The look in her eyes completely changed. She shifted into cute mode. I was waiting for this, Rena. That look in her eyes. Oh, to my doorstep. It's not like Keiichi-kun or Mi-chan wouldn't be too good too. Oh. Alright. Looks like everybody's prepared themselves. Get your memo pads ready. First question. Ready? Mion opened up her textbook to a random page and read out a word that caught her eye. The first topic is summer break. This is yet another quite abstract keyword. Well then, let's not worry about it too much and start with something like this. Everybody good? Time to show. Ready, go. On Mion's signal, everybody simultaneously held up what they wrote. Let's see. What did everybody write? Summer festival, fireworks, mosquito coils. Oh, Ren and I have the same answer. Alright, 2 points. But Satoko's fireworks is pretty good too. Rika's mosquito coil is a very nice seasonal choice as well. All the choices are quite invigorating. It's almost summer break, isn't it? I wonder how we'll spend it this year. Invigorating words that invoke the image of summer break. Certainly things that enrich the soul. As everybody approaches the soon-to-come summer break, a plethora of dreams should be etched upon their thoughts. By the way, Keiji-san, what did you answer? Hurry up and show us. I didn't really write down anything that great. No. Showing us is part of the rules. Oh, come on. Stop it. Don't look. What, bikinis? Homework. The room went silent. Nobody could really follow up that response. It's as if my impertinent answer had somehow sullied the wonderful dreams of the coming summer break. Keiichi-kun's summer breaks were never fun, were they? It's alright. Let's spend the summer this year with everybody. We won't leave you by your lonesome. Rika-chan gently petted my head. What exactly did summer break mean to me? Summer courses, observing sunflowers, practice exams, special summer-focused seminars. I know nothing of hot summers, because I've always been in an air-conditioned cram school. Ugh, the tears, Kei-chan's summer breaks were always devoid of hopes and dreams, weren't they? Don't look at me with such pity in your eyes. Don't look at me. This game, called Sympathy, may be more terrifying than I could ever imagine. Well, anywho, Ren and I get 2 points each. Let's keep going. Next is fish. So it's fish. Come to think about it, I haven't eaten sushi in a while. By the way, rather than lean tuna, I'm quite the connoisseur of things like flounder. I wonder who I'll match with this answer. Because for a Japanese person, anyone would think of this. Alright, everybody. This time we'll start from mine. Ready, go. Sushi. How about that for an answer? First one I thought of too. When you see a lively fish, do you want to steam it or grill it? No, to have fresh sashimi is the epitome of cuisine. Rather than write sashimi, however, I chose the more amiable term in sushi. That's my cunning ploy. But contrary to the intrepid resolve of my reply, everybody's expression was listless. Oh, that's right. When you say fish, I see. Sushi is tasty, isn't it? Stop talking to me in that consoling tone. Stop it! Well then, should the rest of us show our answers? Ready, go. Dolphin. Whale. Aquarium. Aquarium. Dolphins and whales aren't fish. Rick and I have the same answer. That's 2 points. Rena picked whale, eh? I thought about that too. But I ended up picking dolphin. Nah, really? Rena wanted to write dolphin at first, but Rena didn't think anybody else would write it. Either one of them is very cute. Everybody, excluding me, stopped and stared blankly as their thoughts drifted over the horizon. It seems as if they can hear the roar of the open sea from over there. This means everybody has 2 points. Well, everybody but Keiichi-san. Keiichi-kun's answers were worth 0 points. But Ren thinks they were very unique and interesting. Interesting. To immediately think of food when you hear the word fish. Kei-chan, you should really be ashamed of how destitute your soul is. That's kind of a default for Japanese, though. Don't say something like my soul is destitute. Besides, what's with me and Ren's answer anyways? Those aren't even fish. Those are mammals. Objection overruled. Next. What a horrid game this is today. As the games pile on, it seems as if I will be further exposed as a petty human being. I'm the only one who still hasn't earned any points. I want to at least get a point in the next round. Alright, next topic is Sakura. Damn it. This time I'll do it. Keep your cool, Keiichi Maibara. Don't think what you would normally think. Everybody else here is a girl. Stop thinking like a man. If you write down Sakura Mochi, here you'll only be repeating the tragedies of the past. They seem to like mochi, so that might not be a bad one. Throw away that gastrocentric male sensibility. Just for now, think of yourself as a girl. You are a girl. You are a girl. I am a girl. Everybody, finish writing? Let's do it. Keiichi-san, if you don't start getting points right now, won't it be a bit dangerous? This time it's perfect. I've completely suppressed my own instincts. This time, I will have a match. No, I will make a match. Keiichi-kun, you seem pretty confident about this one. You see, this time, Rena thought like a boy, so I can match up with your answer. Sakura mochi. I like them too. I wrote it down. Rena and Riko giggled together. Now it's not the time to think with your stomach. Well then, did Keiichi-san write the same answer as me? I put down Hanami. That's right. When you say Sakura, it just has to be Hanami, yeah? I wrote that down too. Mion and Satoko's responses was Hanami, Hanami. Seriously? That's the kind of event where old geezers getting drunk and doing all sorts of depraved things is the standard, isn't it? Why of all times did you just decide to abandon answering from a girl's point of view? Well then, Kei-chan, what sort of girly response did you write down? It's nothing. Let's move on to the next topic. Before I knew it, Rika-chan had circled behind me, and I was intently reading the memo I had written behind my back. It says lipstick. Lipstick? It became dead quiet. The abrupt silence enveloped the room. It would be fine if somebody at least laughed at me or played it off as something dumb, but nobody even flinched. The feeling in the pit of my stomach reached critical mass, causing my once blood-drained face to flush with a sudden wave of heat. Sakura can only mean the famous lipstick brand Sakura, right? You know, the one in the new color they've been asking about on TV. They even did a special on it. Don't you check those things out as ladies? Even I've seen it. Yeah. Even without the forced explanation, I know about it. It's the one that doesn't stick to the cup even if you're drinking coffee, right? Yeah. I know. Yep. It's a really cute color, isn't it? I saw it in the makeup section at the drugstore. That pink color made me want to take it home. Indeed. It's only common sense for a lady to keep up with these matters. I thought you were more interested in the bark and sale tissues, Satoko. How rude of you. I make sure to keep an eye on the newest products. That aside, it's just a bit surprising that the first thing you think of when you hear Sakura. So what? I was just thinking from a lady's perspective. Being born as a lady, obviously it's normal to maintain a beautiful image. It's right to think that. That's how it was to be. Poof. Mion quietly put her hand on my shoulder. Kei-chan. Now I am certain. Kei-chan, you are, to your very core, a geezer. Irrevocably so. Why is everybody looking at me with those eyes filled with pity? What else would they be filled with at this point? That's not true, Keiichi-kun. Okay, let's do our best. Here's where the comeback begins. There's no coming back for Keiichi-san, the geezer. Now give up quietly and accept your penalty. What was today's penalty game again? Dressing up as a maid, complete with hairband and knee socks, while carrying around the winner's stuff. Alright. If you're real members of this club, show me you won't let anybody come back from this disadvantage. Alright. Let's keep it rolling. Higurashi, when they cry. Welcome to Hinamizawa. Technically, this is a story entirely about suffering. Just start to finish, nothing but suffering. And with that, I'll call it a day. You'll get to see the penalty next time. Today's Wednesday, so next week is when you'll get to see the apparently interesting penalty game. Yeah, that's the first welcome of Chapter 2. In that game store, I got the feeling that there was a fair bit of foreshadowing of some sort. I could feel it was there, couldn't really tell you what it was. But we'll see where the story heads out to. Anyway, till next time, see you later. Oh, tomorrow I'll have something hopefully interesting to show you, or at least maybe something new.